The titles on the marquee have changed many times through the decades. Matter of fact, this wasn't even the original marquee when the Young Actors Theater first began. Since the mid-1970s, the executive director, Cheryl Williams, has seen The Sun Come Out Tomorrow.
Come out tomorrow.
Continues to look somewhere over the rainbow. And as we learn in the next few minutes, everything was what she did for love.
What I did for love.
I was always interested in doing Broadway type shows. I was not somebody that was interested in doing things about animals, or because I grew up going to Broadway, and that's what I knew. My very first show was seeing Mary Martin in The Sound of Music, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I wanted to express to the kids. So we primarily have followed that line. The beginning of it, and then we will stop. Action.
Oh. I don't know why I brought this stupid tie on. I could have yanked these babies off of my bare hand. Sure you could.
At the very, very beginning, I was actually at my house. My husband would come home at noon. He'd move all the furniture. And then the first time we did a show, we did it at Beverly Frick's. And her fifth grader was in my program. She said, just let's do it here. So we did. And there's a lot of fun people from that first class that I actually still see, keep up with, and remember that moment. I've always felt we're in Tallahassee, we're not in Atlanta or Jacksonville or some bigger city. So you have to consider that what you are training them is for them to take forward.
What would you do that for?
The most important thing is for them to be able to get up and talk in front of people.
Well, actually, I'm at a boy band. You telling me you hauled your cookies all the way to the beach for some guy?
Nowadays, everyone's got their nose in a computer, but that isn't going to be forever in my book. And a lot of people are scared to death to just even get on the stage and introduce something. So I do think it carries you through to where you're really able to use this in the future. I have a alumni that works at NASA, and I think she said it was her 20th anniversary there. So she went in for her interview, and and this is absolute truth, she sang parts of it. And then she was brilliant, and they were so blown away that they were like, you are something else. And she's done very well. Tony Hale is probably the most famous of all the alumni, and I think the thing about Tony that's so incredible is that he is the nicest, most wonderful person. He cares about you way over himself. Growing up, he was a little bit all over the place, and I'll repeat this since I said it on national television. I was asked, well, what kind of an actor, was he always a star? And I told them, no, he was a bad little boy. He was obnoxious, and he'd blurt things out, and we would say no. He actually lost a part, not because he couldn't do it, but he was just annoyed us. He was obnoxious. It was funny because when I said that, then several of the late night hosts came up with, well, your drama teacher's calling you obnoxious. What do you think of that? And of course, he played along, oh, it was terrible. Then I called him, I said, are you really upset at me? And he goes, no, it's a great story. Cheryl was here in high school, and the thing I remember her the most from, we had 5 kids that when they graduated from high school formed what they call the grad group. And they did private parties and all sorts of things, and Cheryl was in that. And then her other big show that she was in was Anything Goes. About 15 years ago, when we did Anything Goes, she came to see the show, and she did a live auction and auctioned off t-shirts and all sorts of things. Again, a lovely person. Allison Miller is in A Million Little Things. She is another person who is so delightful and so pleasant. She came to us in high school. She was in Brighton Beach Memoir, and my daughter said, she's going to go somewhere. She just had a timing and a look, and you really can tell from a lot of people. So she's doing wonderfully. One of the things about all these people, if they can mention young actors, they do. They are so good at crediting. Tony will say that's where he grew up. That's where he learned how to be a person. And with Allison too, she always says, you know, that was my high school. I don't go to a reunion. My reunion is going to young actors. There's a group of them get together at Christmas and, you know, with all their kids. And I purposely have really tried to keep the alumni together. And I even write this little thing called Tina Talks. Primarily, I think that all the arts are important. In the size that Tallahassee is now, they need to look at all things. It's not just everyone going to the football game. They need to support areas and arts that bring more people in. From the beginning, my whole purpose was, why are people not coming to theater? And the only way to really get people to come to theater is by exposing them to it. Then you might be an engineer at NASA, but she has season tickets for all the shows in Houston. Lately, I have been very active with PanCAN, which is the pancreatic cancer research group. And my reason for doing that is that my husband died at 62 from pancreatic cancer. And it's one of the few cancers that there is nothing they can do. We spent 6 months in Salt Lake City at the hospital out there, and so much support from the cancer center there that afterwards I felt like I really needed to be able to give back, because absolutely nobody needs to die of pancreatic cancer. I'm very lucky that Sarah Doolin-Roy will be our next executive director. I feel very comfortable that this family member knows the importance of theater. My favorite line from a show, I think, is "The sun will come out tomorrow," because that very much states what young actors is like, and are all of our lives.
I love that tomorrow.